Matthias Grafstrom has worked alongside Gianni Infantino since the day Infantino was elected FIFA president in 2016. He was Infantino's chief of staff. He rose through FIFA entirely under Infantino's leadership. He was appointed Secretary General, the #2 position in world football, by Infantino's own FIFA Council in 2024. And this week, he sent an email to the entire FIFA staff calling his president's plan a sad and reproachable series of events that is difficult to comprehend and accept. That email was obtained by Sky News. That is not a critic speaking from outside the building. That is the man who runs FIFA's day-to-day operations, who has sat in the room with Infantino for 10 years, who knows precisely how this organization works, publicly breaking with the person who built his career. And what makes it more significant is that Grafstrom's email was not the only thing moving inside FIFA this week. It was one piece of a coordinated collapse happening simultaneously from every direction at once. To understand what is happening right now, you need to see all the moving parts together, because no single piece tells the story. The Grafstrom email, the UEFA legal letter, the 5 national associations withdrawing support, the US State Department denial. They are not separate events. They are the same event unfolding in different rooms on the same day. Start with Grafstrom. He joined FIFA from UEFA 10 years ago, rising first to Deputy Secretary General and then to Secretary General in 2024. He has been described by people inside FIFA as Infantino's shadow, the operational mind behind a president who is more comfortable in political relationships than administrative process. When Infantino was late to the FIFA Congress in Paraguay in May 2025 because he had been accompanying Trump on a Middle East tour, it was Grafstrom who managed the room. When UEFA delegates walked out in protest, it was Grafstrom who absorbed the institutional damage. He has spent a decade cleaning up after Infantino. And this week, in an internal email sent to the entire FIFA staff, he called Infantino's plan difficult to comprehend and accept, and told staff that individuals, unstable moments, and unfortunate episodes come and go. He did not name Infantino. He did not have to. There is only one individual, one unstable moment, and one unfortunate episode being discussed at FIFA right now. But the Grafstrom email is only the beginning of what happened this week, and what came next from UEFA's lawyers changes the entire legal landscape. On Friday, August 1st, a law firm called Deckert, based in New York, sent a formal legal document to FIFA on behalf of UEFA. Not a statement, not a press release, a preservation letter. This is a specific legal instrument sent when litigation is anticipated. It formally notifies the recipient that they must retain all data, documents, emails, and electronic messages as potential evidence. Destroying or altering any of those materials after receiving the letter constitutes spoliation of evidence, a serious legal violation in most jurisdictions. The letter informed FIFA that UEFA is actively considering legal action, arbitration, and/or regulatory complaints arising out of and in connection with the FFE plan proposed by FIFA and all related matters. And then it named 18 FIFA executives who must personally comply. Not just FIFA as an organization, 18 individuals. They include Infantino. They include FIFA's Chief Finance Officer, Thomas Paier. They include FIFA's Head of Global Football Development, Arsene Wenger, the former Arsenal manager who has spent 5 years building his post-coaching reputation and now finds his name on a litigation preservation letter. UEFA has told 18 people inside FIFA headquarters in Zurich that they are potential witnesses or defendants in legal proceedings that UEFA is actively preparing. That is not political pressure. That is the opening move of a legal process. But the most revealing development of this entire week is not the legal letter or the Grafstrom email. It is what happened in Washington. Reports emerged that Infantino was seeking a meeting with Marco Rubio, the United States Secretary of State, in what was described as an attempt to shore up American political support for his continued presidency. The U.S. State Department denied the meeting had been scheduled, not that the meeting was canceled, not that Rubio had declined. The State Department denied it had ever been scheduled at all, which means either the reports were wrong or FIFA was exploring the possibility of such a meeting and the White House shut it down before it could be confirmed. Either way, the picture it creates is of a FIFA president who, facing legal action from UEFA, a secretary general who has publicly broken ranks, 5 national associations withdrawing support, and a congressional investigation with an August 9th deadline, was apparently looking to the U.S. government for political cover. And the U.S. government's public response was to distance itself from him. That is not the behavior of an organization in control. That is the behavior of a president running out of allies. Now pull all of this together as a single timeline, because the sequence is what makes it so significant. July 28. The congressional investigation launches with an August 9th deadline for FIFA to produce documents. August 1st, UEFA's lawyers send a preservation letter naming 18 FIFA executives. The same day, Grafstrom sends his internal email condemning the plan to the entire FIFA staff. August 2nd, England's FA is reported to be formally withdrawing support for Infantino's re-election. August 3rd, Wales confirms withdrawal in a public statement. Serbia issues its own statement. Finland, which led the way the previous week, is joined by Sweden confirming it will oppose Infantino's candidacy. On the same day, senior FIFA officials are described by multiple sources as pushing for Infantino's resignation, convinced a no-confidence vote is coming if he refuses. August 4th, the U.S. State Department denies Infantino had a meeting scheduled with the Secretary of State. All of this happened in 8 days, not 8 months, 8 days. Wales's statement is worth reading in full because it captures what all 5 associations are saying in different words. The recent failures in good governance, processes, leadership, values, stakeholder management, communications, and sound judgment have led us to a position where Mr. Infantino has lost the confidence of the FAW to remain at the helm of world football. Failing to put the best interests of football first is a failure we cannot accept. These were associations that had previously written letters of support for Infantino. England had written one, Wales had written one, Finland had written one. All of those letters are now being replaced by withdrawal notices, and the number is growing. But understanding what this actually means for March requires understanding the arithmetic of FIFA's voting structure and why Infantino is not finished yet. Before the FFE crisis, Infantino reportedly had written letters of support from 200 of FIFA's 211 member associations. That number has been moving in one direction since July 28. The 5 European associations who withdrew support were among those 200. If the same pattern plays out across UEFA's 55 members, and UEFA has given every indication it intends to encourage collective withdrawal, Infantino's guaranteed majority disappears. He would then need to hold Africa's 54 associations and Asia's 47. The same associations whose support he tried to secure with the $20 million per cycle promise embedded in the FFE plan. The plan is now dead. The money attached to it, which would have come from private equity, is no longer available. If Infantino wants to replicate the financial offer to Africa and Asia, he would need to draw from FIFA's own reserves. FIFA has the reserves to do this. Whether doing so would be seen as redistributing existing FIFA wealth or as purchasing votes in a contested election is a question FIFA's ethics processes would normally examine. Those processes were weakened when Infantino restructured the Ethics Committee in 2016. That restructuring is now one of the items in Raskin's congressional letter with the August 9th deadline. The circle closes on itself. What Grafstrom's email, the preservation letter, the 5 withdrawn support letters, and the State Department denial all point toward is the same conclusion from 4 different directions. Infantino is no longer governing FIFA. He is managing a survival operation. The General Secretary who ran his building has distanced himself publicly. The lawyers are building a case. The national associations are peeling away. The political allies are stepping back. None of this means he is finished. He has survived 10 years by understanding FIFA's voting structure better than any external critic. Africa and Asia remain the key, and if he can hold them, he survives March regardless of what Europe does. But to hold them, he needs to offer something concrete, and the thing he built to offer them is the same thing that destroyed his credibility everywhere else. That is the trap he is in. And this week, it tightened from every direction simultaneously. Subscribe. The August 9th congressional deadline arrives in 4 days, and this channel will cover every development the moment it breaks.